going on YouTube? How's everybody today? It's good to hear. Awesome. Today I want to talk about an album that I really like. It's by Viktor Vaughn, called Vaudeville Villain, released in 2003 on Sound Inc. Viktor Vaughn is, of course, MF Doom's alter ego. MF Doom, real name Daniel Dumil, used to be known as Zevlov X back in the 90s, and he was part of KMD, which was kind of, well, it was a rap group that got fucked around a lot by their record label, and they had some controversial album order on their second album, and it got shelved. And then his brother Sub Rock got hit by a car and died, and he went underground, came back with a mask, became the super villain known as MF Doom, decided to destroy hip-hop, destroy the hip-hop industry. I don't know how that battle's really going, but anyway, so on Viktor Vaughn, what we get is probably just Doom without the mask, and he's just a down on his luck kind of thug who's, you know, dipping into like black magic and like time traveling gizmos and robbing old ladies and selling drugs and getting drunk and smoking weed and just practicing black magic and all this shit. Very cool album though, very, very solid, very dark. It's got a very dark sense of humor, a lot of intricate beats on here. The production here is awesome, even though there's practically like only no-name beat makers on here, like guys like King Honey, Max Bill, Mr. 10, like RJD2 makes a couple of beats on here too, and like, but it's all good. Very, very cold, very sparse production on here. Viktor Vaughn, Doom, he's really stepped up his game lyrically here too. It's pretty flawless. It's very, like, he's firing on all cylinders. Very comical, very sinister, very like cerebral. Great storytelling, very depictive lyrics on here for sure. It's not one of those like hip-hop albums where they have like a sped-up R&B singer and like all these catchy choruses and stuff. It's pretty much just verse after verse. There's no choruses at all that I could decipher out of here. Very kind of, I don't know, if I had to compare it to something, I'd compare it to like Wu-Tang, because Wu-Tang's always comparing themselves to like ninjas like Shaolin and using Marvel comic analogies, calling them like Ghostface as Tony Stark and stuff like that, and using crazy little simple kind of minimal, very cold, dark beats and stuff. Which is probably why like Doom and like Ghostface collab sometimes too. They probably have like similar minds, similar tastes. But yeah, I got hours of enjoyment out of this album. It's very high replay value. It's kind of like, you know, retro sounds meets innovative beats and like science fiction movies and like nostalgia meets like gritty street life on here. Like all kinds of like weird 80s science fiction movies are referenced, like Crawl and Babylon 4, and like you'll reference Star Trek, he references Back to the Future with the flux capacitor, drug deals gone wrong, references lots of video games, references Donkey Kong, references like all kinds of Marvel comic characters, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Wolverine. References serial killers like Timothy McVeigh. He'll reference Dan Aykroyd, Rob Reiner. He rhymes Rob Weiner with Knob Shiner. But yeah, great lyrics on here. Very funny. He makes fun of like other rappers and stuff, saying they're more than likely learn the jig or do the hucklebuck. To me, it's no big deal because they're just a bunch of knuckle fucks. Very cool Mushmouth. Like he's got a great voice on here. It's very kind of laid back and like gravelly voice, Mushmouth kind of flow. Great stuff. Lots of good songs. Even like there's even these, I don't even know if they're skits, but there's these two kind of interludes where it's just this rap battle going on, and Viktor Vaughn's the last contestant on this one. And it's got like Lewis Logic and a bunch of underground MCs, and they're all on top of their game for sure. And then Viktor Vaughn's the last guy, and he shoots the host of the contest and stuff. Very crazy album. Like it's got all kinds of like silly violence and weird imagery on here. Very good album. Not much in the way of artwork, just the front cover, then just the back cover, which is, I don't know what that is, some sort of metal flooring, then just some building silhouettes with the credits written into it. That's pretty much it. Just get the case here, same floor. Represents the album very well though. It's like very gray, very hazy, very smoky, very kind of, you're not sure what's going on. Like you have to listen to this album a lot to kind of catch on to what's happening. I think it's got this theme of Viktor Vaughn is fucking around with this black magic and time machines, and he got stuck back in the early 90s and couldn't get back, and bumps into himself in high school, and someone stole his Donkey Kong game from his locker, and it's just, I don't know, all kinds of like misadventures. But yeah, very compelling, very good storytelling on here. If you're a fan of underground hip hop at all, or just like very gifted MC, you should totally check out Viktor Vaughn. This is a very, 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 very good album. Like I said, I got hours of enjoyment out of it. 17 songs, 57 minutes long. It's almost an hour's worth of just like great underground hip hop, man. It's like, I think anyone who's just kind of nerdy and like knows a lot about like science fiction movies and 80s like nostalgia kind of stuff, even them could get into this. Like, you don't have to be a total hip hop head to enjoy this, I don't think, but it'd probably help. But yeah, pretty much, yeah. Just pretty much MF Doom at his most like brash, his most smutty mouthed, most like intricate kind of rhymes, very blunted on here. But yeah, it's just like Viktor Vaughn persona is very dark, very kind of gritty, very, like I said, smutty. There's songs about masturbation and stuff. Very cool stuff. Highly recommend this album, Viktor Vaughn, Vaudeville Villain, 2003 Sound Inc.